and have the opportunity to share the martial arts with all people from all walks of life. Now, this webinar or this program is being brought to you by a team of people. First of all, MAIA, the Martial Arts Industry Association, is the nation's premier professional martial arts organization dedicated to delivering to you what matters. And when I say to you, I'm talking about you, the school owner, you, the instructor, and you, martial artists out there worldwide. And it's being brought to you by me, Kimber Hill, your partner in creating the magic and keeping it alive. And you've got to know that this is all designed with your needs in mind. You know, over the years, over the last 10 years, I have had the honor and privilege of working with martial artists from all walks of life, brand new school owners, seasoned veterans, young teens, you know, that are junior black belts and are assisting in teaching children, people who are new to teaching children, people who have been doing it for a long time, all kinds of different martial artists and martial arts instructors. And through these 10 years, I've accumulated a lot of information on what we can put in, what's missing from the industry, what's missing from the current curriculum, what was missing from my little dragon curriculum, whatever, that we could put in that would make a difference. And what we have is Maia's PreSkill Children's Curriculum, a turnkey martial arts program designed to make your school better. And when I say better, I mean more profitable, increase your retention for your students, and increase your peace of mind as a school owner and as an instructor. So how can you benefit from PreSkill? First of all, profitability. Through increased enrollment and actually, you know, increasing the number of students that you have in your school by now offering classes for young kids, adding a summer camp or an after-school program, adding classes for mentally or physically challenged students, you will increase your numbers of students. And what does that mean? That means more tuition, more revenues coming from special events because you have more students, and more retail sales. And all of that comes together to make your school more profitable. In addition to that, you're going to see how this program operates as a pipeline to your junior program and beyond. It doesn't replace your junior program by teaching the same curriculum to young kids. It actually pre-frames your youngsters for success when they get into the junior program and actually helps them, it sets them up for success to be a lifetime martial artist. And then finally, you'll benefit just from the peace of mind, knowing that you are offering the best program in the industry for your students. You'll gain peace of mind from not stressing, not operating your program from trial and error, not having to scramble to put it together or reinvent the wheel. Instead, you'll know that you're using a program that's tried and true, that has been created by the best in the industry for the best in the industry. So what is PreSkill? PreSkill martial arts, is a 2-year rotating curriculum. What I mean by a 2-year rotating curriculum is you're going to get new material for 2 years, and then it will repeat. So in that 2-year program, each month has a distinct theme. And so, for example, we're in the month of February for right now. So right now, we're working on the blocking unit. And in the month of February, if you're a subscriber, you will receive 2 30-minute lesson plans per week. Those lesson plans come to you in both PDF written formats. You can print them out and take them right out onto the training floor with you. And it's also delivered to you in the form of an instructional video where you see me actually taking you through all the drills, skills, and actually running these with my students right on the mat. This helps for many reasons. First of all, sometimes when you read a manual or you read a lesson plan, you think you have a general idea of what you're supposed to do, but there may be some confusion. So you can watch the video and see exactly how to put that into play. But secondly, the instructional videos also work to teach you not only what to teach, but how to teach it. So when you're working with, let's say you're new to teaching young children or new to working with challenged children, or you've got new staff, you don't necessarily have to take hours and hours and hours of training or take that on yourself to do that with new staff. I do that for you, right, via video. Also, each month comes with homework assignments. So in every week, there's 2 30-minute lessons and 1 take-home homework assignment that complements or supplements the lesson that was taught. Now, we're working with young children ages 3 to 6. So the homework assignments aren't like, we're not teaching the lesson in the homework. Again, it's usually an activity, maybe a coloring activity or a matching activity or a connect the dots or draw a picture or something that has the child taking the lesson home with them, being present to what they learned that week in class at home, and gives them the opportunity to work with the parent. Many times, a 3-year-old typically can't read really well, so they have to work with the parent to read the instructions, and it helps the parents get involved with what they're learning. In addition to that, they have the opportunity to turn in their homework assignments at the end of each month or at the end of each week. And if they turn in all 4 homework assignments, they actually have the opportunity to earn a badge or a skill patch that recognizes them for completing the unit and achieving that skill. And then there's a monthly newsletter that's also included in your program kit. The monthly newsletter, the front page of the newsletter is an overview for parents of what we're going to be teaching for that month and how they can supplement the learning at home, how they can stay involved with it, and things that they can watch for. Right now, this month we're working on blocking unit, and because it was Valentine's Day this month, we did a buddy week. So we talk about the importance of working together. When we're teaching, let's say, stranger awareness, the newsletter will include tips for parents on things that they need to keep in mind when in making their child safe at home and when they're outside of the dojo. So anyway, it gives you an overview on the front cover so parents could stay actively involved with the topic. Secondly, on the inside of the newsletter, it includes activities and other bits of the lesson for the student, so it's almost like a highlights for kids in a little miniature version, so that the kids can actually get a jump start on what the monthly lesson is right at the beginning of the month with the newsletter. And then finally, on the back of the newsletter, the back panel of it is in editable PDF file format. So you can keep your students up to date as to, special announcements, current events, recognizing students for certain achievements, special things that are coming up, or thank yous for parents, or just anything that you want to promote or put on the back is there for you to do that. And then finally, in the PreSkill program, you are getting marketing and retention materials. So right when you register for PreSkill, in the marketing library, the resource library, there's ad slicks. There's anything from door hangers to postcards to flyers to lead box headers. Anything like that is in there. In addition to that, you have retention materials such as attendance tracking cards, welcome cards to send to new members, happy birthday cards to send to kids that are having a birthday, as well as where you been cards and things like that. And then we also have special marketing materials that go with certain marketing campaigns that we run throughout the program. So, for example, I just told you that this month was because of Valentine's Day. We did a Buddy Week promotion. That was an in-house promotion. All the materials to run that Buddy Week are right there in your package. So PreSkill program really and truly is a turnkey program that allows you to run your children's program ages 3 to 6 with really nothing but using Maya's PreSkill program. So who can benefit from this? There's many types of people that can benefit from this. And the first person we're going to address are new schools. For those of you who are starting a new school, either you're in the process of planning for it or you just started it, you know how overwhelming that can be. When you have a new school, you're trying to figure out not only how to run get the business operations going, but then, you've got all of the other programs, your adult program, your children's program, your junior program, all of that. There's so much to think about. The last thing that you need to do is reinvent the wheel and come up with a PreSkill program that has a curriculum that works as well as all the materials that go with it. So this is a perfect way for new schools to get up and running very quickly and very effectively. Additionally, this program is ideal for schools who are new to teaching this age group. Not all adults are created the same, and neither are children. So there's no way that you can run your adult program effectively for children ages 3 to 6. Shoot, you can't even run your junior program for 10-year-olds effectively for children ages 3 to 6. Children this young have a special set of needs and a special set of abilities. They can hardly hold their attention longer than a couple minutes. They don't have social skills down pat, such as waiting their turn or not keeping their hands to themselves, that kind of thing. They also don't have a very large vocabulary. So they don't have the ability to sequence and memorize things as well as your older children, so you can't teach them complex katas. And they just don't have the physical development, the coordination. Even if they did have all that, they don't have the physical coordination to be able to do a lot of the same skills the same way. So if you're new to teaching this age group, one of the biggest pitfalls when people do start teaching this age group is they just teach the beginner curriculum of their juniors for the young kids. And that is a pitfall, because then there's, number one, they aren't as effective doing it. It's not age and really specific, so you're going to lose some of them, and it gives them nothing to look forward to retain them when they do get into the junior program. So instead, you want to teach a distinct program that's specially designed for this age group. It's age and ability specific. So the next group that can benefit from this program is schools who already know that. They've got that down pat. They currently teach children ages 3 to 6, and they are successful at it. And now they're ready to expand. So you might ask, well, if I'm already successful, why would I need to go ahead and adopt a different program? Because once you start to expand, it creates a whole new ball game. For those of I know there's some of you on the line that have been there, done that, or are trying to do this, and you understand where I'm at. Here when my school got really successful in teaching this group, and I started adding more days and times, and then I started teaching at other locations, there was no way I could do it all myself. So I started adding more staff. And then I quickly realized that created a whole new set of problems, because, number one, I was very busy already, and I didn't have the adequate time to train my staff to be effective right from the get-go. So now I've got additional staff members teaching classes that I can't always see and monitor and control, and they weren't doing it as effectively. So I experienced a set of growing pains that I wasn't prepared for. And instead of, the whole saying is build it and they will come, well, I added more classes, I added more locations, and sure, they came because we had a good reputation, but then quickly we started to lose students because I didn't have the structures in place to keep it standardized and duplicatable. And that's what PreSkill does. If you add more classes and or instructors, or you open more locations, it's important that no matter where the students go, no matter who they're learning from, no matter if you are out sick for the day and someone's just coming into sub, there's not a single ball that gets dropped. Everything continues as scheduled, as planned, as designed, and as professional as you are. So that's what PreSkill will do, is provide that standardization, the duplication that's necessary to take your program to the next level. Now, the next group of schools that can benefit from this program are schools who offer an after-school program or offer a summer camp program. See if I can get the slide to advance here. So if you currently offer, whether you currently offer it or whether you are looking to offer a summer camp program or an after-school program, and, like, what are you going to do with these kids the whole time? You're going to have them, for hours every day after school, or if you're doing the summer camp, you're going to have them all day long, all summer long. What do you do with them? So there's a couple things that my experience has taught me that some people do. Some people do just playtime. And, one of the great things as being martial arts school owners and instructors, in most states, we are exempt from licensure, which means that we don't have to be a licensed daycare facility in order to offer these programs, which also means that our staff does not have to be professionally trained, nor do we have to follow any set guidelines or curriculum. So in a way, that's great, and in a way, it also can be problematic because some people don't know what they're doing, and then they go out there and they just open a program because they see it can be profitable. And then it gets a little out of hand. So some people don't have any structures, any foundation in place, and it's kind of a free-for-all. And what they will find is, sure, they may get students initially, but they aren't going to retain them for very long because parents aren't just looking for playtime. They're looking for, especially if they're going to, I charge more for my program than most local daycares and summer camps because I actually advertise and structure my program to be a constructive alternative to traditional daycare, okay? So that's how people use my program. Well, if I'm going to advertise it that way, it better be that way. And as long as I run it that way, I can charge a premium rate. I actually don't charge a reduced rate like they charge. I specifically market and position my program at a premium rate and as a premier program in my community. And therefore, I use a specialized curriculum that supports that. Now, some schools I've found go the exact opposite. They teach formal martial arts training all day, every day. And my experience with that is they have limited success because it's too rigorous. It's too much for a youngster to be doing formal martial arts training at that level. Now, granted, we have exceptional students, and exceptional students do need to have exceptions made for them. We all have students that are like child prodigies, and we want to develop them to become world champions. And sure, they can probably handle some of that level of training, but the majority cannot. So if you're looking to make your program profitable and get numbers in there, you need to have something that's fun-filled as well as structured. You need to have something that builds skill, but also does it in more of a fun atmosphere. And that's what PreSkill does. We work on attribute training, so it's a perfect complement to any traditional program. So when I have my kids come for my after-school program or my summer camp program, they have a whole bunch of activities that they do right out of the PreSkill program. And then, based on their age and skill level, determine what formal training class they go to. So when it comes to working with the PreSkill program, I use my PreSkill program with my preschoolers, with my preschool formal martial art class, which I call Little Dragon, and you can call it however you want. We'll discuss that in the future. This is a little bit in this webinar. But I also use the PreSkill program as the supplemental curriculum in my summer camp and my after-school program for children ages 5 to 11, or basically K through 5th grade. So even though they're older, they can still benefit from doing things such as working on their balance, working on their coordination, working on their timing. They can also benefit from working on life skills. So when they're not doing their physical training in summer camp or their physical training in the after-school program, and they're doing what we would consider classroom time, or it's kind of a break time, they're working on life skills such as cooperation, respect, discipline. They go through the same themes during this after-school program. We do monthly themes during the summer camp because they're with me all day, every day. We do weekly themes that coordinate with the PreSkill program. So it really does give you a sound curriculum to use. And then finally, the final school that can benefit from this program are schools interested in teaching mentally or physically challenged students of any age. So whether you currently do this or this is something that you would like to do, I know if you've been teaching for a while, you have inevitably, it's happened that a student has joined your school and their brother or sister has a physical handicap. I've had many students here with either physical or mental challenges that they sit in the observation area and they watch class and they wish so bad they could participate. But all they've heard all their life is how they're different and they can't do the same thing that the other kids can do. Well, yes, they can. And this is a curriculum that will specifically help them. Because this program focuses on developing basic attributes, it doesn't matter what their physical challenge is, they can work on balance and coordination, timing, all of those same skills. Sure, they might not be able to do a jump, spin, hook kick, but that kick isn't in this program. They can still experience the magic of martial arts and be empowered to do that in this program. Additionally, this program, because it is geared towards children ages 3 to 6, if you're working with a student of any age who has a mental handicap or mental challenge and maybe is operating at a lower age level, well, great. This program is designed for kids at that age level. So it's easily adaptable for them, and you can easily incorporate the life and safety skills right in there for them. So, yes, they can now participate in your program. And I do recommend that you have a special class just for them, open to all ages. Now, what distinguishes PreSkill from any other program out on the market? First of all, it requires little to no time-consuming research and little to no prep time. So you can prepare for each month by reading the monthly overview and reviewing the lesson plans and then customizing the homework and newsletters with little time. So my suggestion is at the beginning of every month, first of all, we put the materials out 2 weeks in advance. So today is February the 23rd. So the materials for March are already out. And if after this webinar you choose to go ahead and subscribe, you will be able to go ahead and start preparing for March right away. My step one, you'll want to go on online, you'll just log in, and you'll read through the monthly overview. You will go ahead and, if you want to watch me telling you the overview, great, or you can read it out, print it out, make sure your whole staff goes over it, or anybody that's participating in this program. Then you're going to go to the newsletter, and you're going to customize the newsletter, putting in any special announcements or anything that you want to make sure your families know for the month of March. You're going to put that on the back side, you're going to print it out, and you're going to go ahead and photocopy it and put it out right away so your families know what's coming up for next month, that there's something special coming on for next month. Then my suggestion is that you look at the the lesson plan. Because you're not familiar with it, I would say go ahead and look at the first lesson plan right away, just so you get the feel for it. Normally, you'll just do this once a week. My PreSkill instructors, of course, I teach other classes, and I have a few other instructors. A few minutes before class, they go on, they print out the lesson plan, they watch the video, they follow along with the lesson plan. The lesson plan actually details every single bit of equipment that's going to be needed for that lesson. So they can take their lesson plan right out on the floor, get all the material organized. You're going to print out the homework assignment for that week, and you can customize down at the bottom by putting the name of your school or any other information you want to put down that you want to tag on the homework assignment. Print that out, photocopy it. So literally, to prepare for the whole month takes maybe 30 minutes, depending on how long it takes you to edit the newsletter. To prepare for each lesson takes maybe 15 minutes. So it's easy. It's all right there. This program teaches, the other thing that distinguishes PreSkill from any other program is this program teaches more than just punches and kicks. It teaches life skills such as respect, cooperation, discipline, focus, memory, listening, all those skills that the little ones typically don't have, or they don't have it very well. So attention, okay, one of them focuses on attention. These are things that prohibit them from being successful in your junior program right away. And they're skills that they need to develop. They're not born with them, they need to develop them. And we teach you how to teach them through the mat chat, through the homework assignments, and through even the activities and drills that are taught in the class. Additionally, this program focuses on safety skills. Safety skills such as bully defense, stranger awareness, even fire safety, first aid, health, things like that that are overall ways that can develop the children into not only being great martial artists, but great citizens, just fantastic, great human beings. And then finally, of course, this is a martial arts program. So everything that we do is centered around the martial arts. And when we, we have monthly themes focused on kicking, striking, forms, combos, falling, all kinds of different stuff that work on basic attributes. We even have a month focused on forms. And we're not focusing on them memorizing an elaborate form. They don't have that. But memorizing maybe some combinations, or just getting the stance work that goes with it and the transition, so that when they go into the junior program, they're already pre-framed. They're set up for success to do that. Now, other things that distinguish PreSkill that's really important is that the PreSkill children's curriculum is not brand specific. So some of my experience, some of you were probably are probably familiar with my Little Dragon program. Maybe you purchased the curriculum manual, maybe you've watched some of the videos, or you just know me from that program. One of the common feedback, a lot of the common feedback that I would get from that is people would love it, but they don't call their kids Little Dragons. So it actually was difficult or challenging for them to use that material, use that program, because every homework assignment pretty much had a picture of a little dragon. Like the Little Dragon logo was embedded in everything. That is not the case with PreSkill. The PreSkill program is fairly generic. It allows you to call your program whatever you want to call it, to use whatever logo or brand that you would like to use, so that you can brand it as your own. As a matter of fact, all the materials are designed to look like you created it, that you're the mastermind. You're the one that put all of these hours of research and this really nice artwork and newsletter and homework and marketing materials. It looks like it came right out of your school. So you can use, whether you call your program Little Ninjas or Tiger Tots or Tiny Tigers or Flying Dragons or whatever you call them, that's fine. You can maintain and develop your own identity. Now, you're going to see when you log in that when you watch the video footage, you're going to see me working with my little dragon. But no one else sees that. That video footage is for your eyes only as school owners and instructors, okay? And that's the only time that you see any branding in this program is just in my videos, just because that's what I call my kids. I call them Little Dragons, so they're all wearing Little Dragon uniforms. Now, I think one of the best things about this program, and from the feedback that I've gotten from subscribers already, is that it's web-based. There's no cumbersome materials. You don't have to purchase this 300-page manual and read through the whole thing before you have an idea of working with it. You can actually log in from anywhere around the world, and so can your staff. We'll issue you a password. You can log in from your iPhone, your iPad, your laptop, from Starbucks. You can log in from your desktop at the office. If you have a lot of part-time staff, like I have a part-time girl that comes in and teaches for me on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Well, we do our weekly staff meeting on Mondays, and she comes in on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and she's not available on Mondays. No big deal. She can prepare for all of her lessons from home. It's so fantastic. So let's go on to how it works. PreSkill program is a rotating curriculum. We have all students working on the same material at the same time. The only thing that distinguishes, let's say, a gold belt from a green belt is how long they've been in the program, so how many skill units have they learned. A green belt, because every month we have a different skill unit that we focus on, and then we award those patches for completing that skill unit monthly. Once they've completed all the lessons and all the homework assignments for that month, they earn that skill patch. And then every quarter, they're eligible to belt rank or to rank advance. So in one 3-month or one quarterly belt cycle, we will teach one of those months is focused on a life skill unit, one of those months is focused on a safety skill unit, and one of those months is focused on a martial arts skill unit. And after they've completed 3 units or 3 months or a minimum of 24 classes, they will automatically rank advance to the next belt, recognizing the fact that they have completed one full cycle of the curriculum or one of each of those skill units. Again, patches are earned for each unit that they complete. And belt ranking is designed to recognize their participation, their effort, and what they've been working on. It is not designed to recognize their skill per se. So, so our little ones have, if you're working with 3 to 6-year-olds, they have limited coordination and limited ability to do the physical skills correctly. So we don't necessarily want to take them through a belt test and say, yeah, perfect, you did that. That front kick looks great, when in essence it doesn't, okay? So I actually don't test them on physical skills. Additionally, some kids are great with their physical skills. They actually are so athletic. They've got such great core development and coordination development that they can really excel. However, those kids tend to be the ones that can't keep their hands to themselves. They don't follow directions. They're bouncing off the walls. They're, that kind of thing. And because this program is focused not only on developing the students physically, but it's also developed or focused on developing them socially, we want to make sure that we don't equate one more than the other. So that's how the ranking works. Now, this program is as simple as picking up the phone and calling to subscribe. And as soon as you subscribe, within minutes, you can go online and get started. So what we're doing for those of you who have been on a webinar with us today is we're doing some really cool specials for you. First of all, as long as you call within the next 24 hours, which is by 12 noon Central Time tomorrow, you will receive 10 free Little Dragon uniforms with your subscription. Or if you don't call your program Little Dragons, you will receive 10 lightweight student uniforms with your new subscription. We are also giving away a free sample set of skill patches. So you will get a complete set of all 24 skill patches so you can see how those go, and you can display them in your school. And by the way, the skill patches are generic. They're not specific to Little Dragons. So it doesn't matter what you call your program, you can still use the skill patches. In addition to that, we are also giving you the opportunity to attend the PreSkill Martial Arts Workshop at the 2011 Super Show in Vegas at no charge. As long as you subscribe for 3 months and you pay for a 3-month subscription, which you can pay for up front or you can pay as you go, we will give you that workshop, which is a $300 value at no charge. And you will have 4 hours of my undivided attention as I set you up for success in teaching this program and take you to the next level. So the phone number is on your screen. 866-626-6226 is Maya's phone number. Call them today and speak with one of the Black Belt account representatives, and they will get you set up and on the road to success. You can also register online at www.masuccess.com. So before we conclude this webinar, I would like to take questions. I know I just wanted to give you an overview of what this program is all about, and so I know there's probably going to be some specific questions. If you do have questions, please type them in now. So and then we will go ahead. I'll see those, and we'll go ahead and address those.
Okay, Kimber, the first question that we have is, how do you handle taking vacations for yourself?
Oh, that's important because I travel a lot now, especially by doing this PreSkill program. The cool thing is any instructor can jump right in and cover your classes. It's hard to get people to cover classes, especially if they're not used to working with these kids or they don't know what's going on, until PreSkill came around. Because now there's video that tells them this is what you're going to teach. Here's your lesson plan. Here's all your materials. And by the way, you guys, students can, I don't suggest that you allow people to earn a black belt. So I don't give black belts for my PreSkill program. The PreSkill program prepares them for black belt training once they get into my junior program. So guess what? You don't even need a black belt to teach the program. So let's say you have a really great mom. If you're a new school, or you're expanding and you're running thin on staffing, you could literally use one of your moms to teach this program. You could literally use one of your, I don't recommend young kids, but you could use someone in their early 20s or an older teenager that can fill in on a dime. Like you woke up sick that morning. It wasn't even a planned vacation. You woke up sick and, oh my gosh, you're scrambling. Who are you going to call? call one of your karate moms. Give them, give them access to the login, or send them the material, and let them just prepare for it right then.
Okay, so how then do you explain to a child that they need to go back to the white belt level once they reach their junior program?
Okay, great. I actually don't have them go back. So first of all of the belts, you know what, I realized I kind of skipped over this. When it comes to belts in the PreSkill program, the belts actually are all different colors, or all different versions of white belts. So they actually never really advance out of white belt level in the PreSkill program. So for example, in my juniors, the beginner juniors start white, gold, orange, right? So my beginner PreSkill program, they start at white. Their gold belt, it looks like, for my 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, the gold belt looks like a white belt with a gold stripe down the middle. For my 5, 6, and 7-year-olds, the gold belt looks like a gold belt with a white stripe down the middle. Either way, there's a little bit of white in either one of their belts, so that there's actually different belt structures. So let's say I have a child start with me when they're 3. At 3, they start with white belt. And then they go through the program. I teach the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds differently than I teach my 6 and 7-year-olds, and we'll go through this in more detail. You'll see this in the program if you subscribe, as well as in the workshop that we do in Vegas. But 3, 4, and 5-year-olds cannot hold pads for each other. 6 and 7-year-olds typically can. 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, need to, when you put them into groups or in lines or things, you need to keep smaller numbers. So I teach the same material, but I teach it slightly different. And by the way, you'll see the distinctions in the video footage, because when I do the video, I have 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7-year-olds all in the video, so you can see how I work with them. But anyway, so if they start at age 3, they're going to start at white belt. As they go through this program, they will earn all the colors from white to red, but all of their belts will be a white belt, Velcro belt, by the way, from Century, with a colored stripe down the middle. So it goes in the same order as my other ones: gold, orange, purple, blue, green, brown, red. Once they get to red, and they're typically somewhere around age 5, they advance into my older PreSkill program. And then from there, they start going to the belts, which are solid belts. So they'll go from, let's say, red belt. I call my littlest ones leaping lizards, and I call my other ones little dragons. So they'll go from a leaping lizard red belt to a little dragon gold belt. And the little dragon gold belt looks like a solid gold belt with a white stripe down the middle. They'll advance from, same thing, gold, orange, purple, blue, green, brown, red as a little dragon. And then from there, I teach them the how to tie their belt and their junior creed before they go to their first junior class, so that they can earn their first junior gold belt and go right on in. So they actually skip white belt when they go into junior program, and they enter in as a gold belt, because they do know basics like attention, bow, ready, stance. They do know some basic kicks, punches, strikes. So I just make sure they know how to tie their belt and their creed, and boom, they can go right on into gold belt. So I don't have them go back to white, the solid white, because that would be a demotion. But each program, my junior gold belts outrank my little dragon red belts. So you just want to set up that hierarchy and that structure from the get-go.
Okay, does any students ever lose motivation for being at the same belt level for 3 full months?
I don't find they do at all, because, okay, so here's the magic. They have an attendance card that tells them how they're progressing. So it's not like they're standing still for 3 months and then all of a sudden one day they move to the next belt. First of all, the attendance tracking card, by the way, is on the website, so you'll have access to this right away. When the student signs up, they get a tracking card. I suggest that you keep them filed at the school in just an index card box. That don't have them take them home. They'll forget to bring them back. So I have them there. The child comes in, pulls their card. Every time they come to class, their card is date stamped. As long as they have good behavior and good participation, they get some sort of reward sticker as they leave that day. After 4 classes, so they can see this on the grid, after they come to 4 classes, they earn a stripe. We repeat this process 6 times for a total of 24 classes, which spans 3 months. And so every class, they get a sticker and a date stamp. Every 2 weeks, they earn a stripe. Every month, they earn a patch. this process, it keeps repeating themselves. So there's so many rewards built into the system that I mean, it's so cool because they're like, Sensei, as they're lining up for class, Sensei, Sensei, today I get my next stripe. They can see it right from the attendance card. Or, Sensei, in 2 more classes I get my next belt. Like, they know because they can understand. It's not something random that they have to come, like, when's the test or when am I going to go there. There's no question in their mind. They can see how it works. So it makes it very tangible.
Okay. Kimber, can you give us an idea of how you determine what to charge?
Okay. I charge the same rates for my PreSkill program as I do for my junior program. Even though my juniors train, and actually, which is the same rates I charge for my adult program. I actually don't distinguish them at all. My adults train for an hour every class, my juniors for 45 minutes every class, my little ones for 30 minutes every class. And, you know, I rarely have the question of, well, how come they're getting half of the class as your adults, but you charge the same price? On occasion, I'll get that when I have families that are joining, but I let them know, listen, you know, our ratios for we need to have so many more paid staff members on the floor for my little ones than I do for my adults. You know, it actually takes a whole lot more to teach little ones as far as equipment, staffing. You know, it takes a lot to run that program. So even though the classes are shorter, there is no difference in the quality or the value because we have to put a whole lot more into it. So I would say charge the same price.
Okay, I have a couple more questions. One is, how do parents react to the homework assignments?
They love it. Now, homework assignments are optional. They don't have to do it. However, if they don't do it, they don't earn their patches. And you know what? I do find that some kids don't do them. Some kids do them and forget to bring them in. Usually they're a fun, like I said, coloring activity or something. The only reaction that I sometimes get from parents is when their child has missed a class. Sometimes all parents come in and say, my child missed last week. Can I get the homework assignment? And I will not give it to them because the homework assignment is not designed to teach the lesson. It's designed to reinforce it at home. So I don't want the child to get credit for actually completing that lesson by turning in a homework assignment when they actually didn't get the lesson. So this month we're working on blocking. And at the end of the month, we'll go ahead and, you know, all the students they've gotten one homework assignment for each week. I don't require that they bring it in the very next week, but by the end of the month, they have to have turned in all 4 homework assignments. We'll go ahead and sort through that. We'll print out certificates for those who completed the unit, because I know if they turned in a homework assignment, that means that they were there for that week's lesson as well. So they got the lesson, they did the homework assignment, they accepted the responsibility to complete the assignment and bring it back, which is how we start building responsibility. And so I'll prepare a certificate and a patch, and I'll award it in class the first week in March. There will be some students in there that will be bummed, like, oh man, I lost some of my homework, or I missed some classes so I didn't get it. Like they really wanted to get their patch and they didn't do it. Don't worry, we've already scheduled at my school, we've already put out the March newsletter calendar, we've scheduled a Little Dragon Patch Night on Saturday, March 12th. From 5:30 to 7, the students will have, or I'm sorry, from 5 to 7:30, the students will have the opportunity to come in for 2.5 hours. We'll serve them pizza. We'll do blocking skills for a whole 2 hours. They'll do their homework, and I earn money because we charge a rate for that, so it's additional revenues. And those who didn't have a chance to earn their patch or for whatever reason didn't earn it during the month of February will have a chance to do that again on March 12th at an additional fee, and they'll walk out of that seminar with their patch and their certificate and a happy camper.
Okay. Kimber, would it be possible to teach the PreSkill program as a mommy and me type class?
Absolutely. And I do suggest you do that. Some 3-year-olds, as a matter of fact, when I advertise my program, I actually say that I have Leap and Lizards is for ages 4, 5, and Little Dragons is for ages 6, 7. I don't actually even say that I teach 3-year-olds, and yet most of the kids in my younger kids class are 3. And the reason why I don't do that is because I don't take 2-year-olds. And if I put that I take ages 3 on up, then I have 2-year-old parents saying, but my child is so advanced, can't you just take them? And then I have to disappoint them. So instead I say, you know, we do take some 3-year-olds, and I will evaluate them. So I'll do an evaluation with the child. Most of the time they're ready. Sometimes they're not, and they should go into a mom and me class. And of course, when I tell a parent, let me evaluate them and see if they're ready, the parent will say, inevitably, oh, I know my child is ready. They have been punching and kicking all through the house. And I say, okay, I got that. And you know what? I assert they were punching and kicking when they were in your belly too. You know, I'll say it to mom. I know my daughter was punching and kicking when she was in my belly. That didn't mean that she was ready for karate. What really distinguishes when they're ready or not is based on their social skill development. Somewhere right around age 3, somewhere during that age, is when the child transitions from the world revolves around me to I must fit in the world. Once they get that social distinction that the world does not revolve around me and they're ready to participate in a group environment, they are ready for your program. Until they get that, they do need to be in a Mommy and Me class, or if you don't have a Mommy and Me class, don't put them in your class, in your PreSkill class, because it will ruin your PreSkill class because they will not listen. So if for those who don't listen, create a Mommy and Me and use this program. Absolutely.
Okay. Kimber, if a school owner had a preschool class that only met one time per week, how could you adjust this program?
You know what? You could actually just pick one of the lessons, or, you know, so I offer 2 classes per week in there. You could just offer one of those 2, or you could watch both of them and do a hybrid. However you want to do it. Typically, the way I've created the lessons is there's basically a monthly theme, but then that monthly theme is further broken down into kind of a weekly theme, all right? So, for example, Respect Unit is coming up here soon, okay? So in the Respect Unit, we cover some of the different topics are respect for yourself, respect for others, respect for things, okay? So there's kind of the way the weekly activities are broken up, and then we have like a respect overview of all of it, right? So as long as, you know, so you'll kind of see that theme kind of follows through there, and you can still do that with just 1 class a week. By the way, some of you may already have set up classes that are 45 minutes long rather than just 30 minutes long, and you don't want to reduce them to 30 minutes, and that's okay. In each lesson, most of the time, I give you too much material. What I know is that some people may do 45-minute classes and they may need all that material. I also know that some of you are new to teaching these kids and your class sizes might be really small, so you might get through the material really fast and you might need extra. So I typically give you about 45 minutes worth of material in each lesson to make sure you don't run out. I'd rather you not be able to get to everything than run out and think, oh my gosh, now what do I do? So don't worry if you don't get to all the material, either because you don't teach twice a week or because you don't have enough time. I did that on purpose.
Okay. Would you recommend doing a special PreSkill program along with a normal program?
Yes. Gosh, if you wrote that, maybe you can just type again real quick. I'm assuming that you're saying like do a PreSkill program and then have a junior program. And if that's what you're meaning, yes, I like in my school, I have 2 PreSkill programs. I have my Leaping Lizards and my Little Dragons. I have my junior program, which consists of a beginner program, an intermediate program, an advanced program, and a junior black belt program. And then of my adult programs, I have multiple. I have my adult traditional karate program. I have my adult kickboxing program. I have an adult judo program. So I offer many different programs, and they're all distinct. And the great thing is I have very high retention because there's always a pathway, and the pathway never ends. And the options are so many that depending on if someone starts in a program, it's like, I don't know about this. I like this, but I don't like that. Okay, cool. Well, why don't we put you in this instead? So we offer just so many options that I don't want to lose a student. Once they come in and they decide they want to be in martial arts, by darned, I'm going to make them a martial artist one way, shape, or form or another.
Okay, just a little clarification. We have a school owner who's been running a TOTS program for about 3 years, and is a little apprehensive about maybe changing the structure of the classes. He wondered about having the program that he already has and then adding an additional PreSkill program as an option.
Absolutely, absolutely. And hey, listen, for that person, if you start on this program, or actually when you start in PreSkill program, why don't you contact me and I'll help you with that. I'll help you distinguish the two, and I can even show you how to incorporate the PreSkill program if you choose to into your TOTS program and not really change a whole lot. So absolutely, when you subscribe, just I've already told the account. By the way, you guys, I've told the account representatives that they can give out my cell phone number, my email address, and any of that, anytime, and I'll get back with you. Cell phone is always the best way to get a hold of me. And the account representatives that you'll be talking to are amazing. They're black belts. They're school, they're instructors, and they work, side by side with me. So you've got a team. It's not just me. It's not just them. We're all working together. So we'll help you implement it successfully.
Okay. One final question. We have several people who are interested in offering the PreSkill program, and they're curious to know how they sign up for the program, if it's mandatory to sign up for the entire 2 years, and what the cost is.
Okay, great. First of all, no, you don't have to sign up for the entire 2 years. It's basically on a month-by-month basis. It's $100 a month. So it's basically the price of one of your students. So the cost of one student, some of you charge more than $100 a month, some of you charge less. So approximately the charge of the fee for one of your students will pay for you to teach this program to all of your students. And it's a month-by-month basis. So, of course, I would hope that you stay on. And if you're having any problems with it, implementing it or being successful with it, I'm right there to help you every step of the way as long as you're a subscriber. To get started, you can either go online and go to www.masuccess.com and register that way, or you can call Maya, call the 866-626-6226, and you'll be up and running within a minute. They basically get the information from you, about your school, and then they send you a password, and bam, you're online. So now we are the only one that we do have is the only way that you get the free PreSkill workshop at the Super Show is by doing a paid 3-month subscription. But that is only for that. If you don't want to do 3 months, if you want to just do 1 month, that's fine. And here's the thing, it's only February. So if you decide just to try it for a month, try it for a month. If you decide to stay on after 3 months of paid subscription, you'll automatically get that free workshop. You don't have to say, I want to do that right now.
Okay, well, that looks like the questions that we have for now. Once again, I would like to thank everyone for joining us for the PreSkill webinar. As a reminder, if you call Maya and join PreSkill by noon tomorrow, you'll receive the 10 free Little Dragons uniforms, a free sample set of skill patches, and 2 people from your school will be able to attend the PreSkill Martial Arts Workshop at the 2011 Super Show at no charge with 3 months paid subscription. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact Maya at the information that's written on your screen. We look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much.